It has been nearly a century, of course, since the infamous stock market crash of 1929 that led to the Great Depression, one of the most consequential moments of the 20th century. Well, in his new book, CNBC host and New York Times columnist Andrew Ross Sorkin is revealing behind-the-scenes stories of how it happened and why it has more relevance to today than ever before. The book is called 1929, Inside the Greatest Crash in Wall Street History and How It Shattered a Nation. Andrew, good morning.
Thank you for having me.
You, of course, wrote Too Big to Fail, which was about the 2008 financial crisis. In a way, this is a prequel.
Yep.
It's also kind of a preview, potentially, of what could happen. So why did you get interested in this subject?
Well, partially because I didn't want to have to write a sequel. So I felt like let's hope we don't have one.
Yeah.
You know, we all know that something bad happened in 1929, the Great Depression, the crash. But I think most people, including myself, to be honest with you, didn't know what really happened. What were the people saying to each other? What were the policy choices? And it's such a drama. These characters, to me, were just so fascinating when I got into it and I started getting into the archival material. I spent 8 years trying to really create these sort of cinematic scenes of what actually happened so that you could actually really see it. And it's, you know, there's affairs and people are committing suicide and all sorts of wild things are happening.
This time really comes alive in this book. I mean, set the scene for us a little bit, because it was a bit of the Wild West where suddenly everybody, any person on the street could invest in the stock market. Explain how that dynamic led to trouble. So
the craziest part was nobody in America took on credit back in the day. Nobody took on a loan. That was like a moral sin.
Right?
It was like a moral sin. And in the 1920s, because of General Motors, which started loaning people money to buy cars, Wall Street caught on, and brokerages emerged everywhere on the corners of streets like Starbucks. And so you could walk into a brokerage house and bet on a stock. You could put down $1. They would loan you $10. And for a while, it was like free money. I mean, the stock market went up between 1928 and September 1929, 90%.
Yeah.
And so people were just the whole thing was, the whole city was alive in this sort of wild, wild way. And, you know, when you go look, and then, of course, it crashed. There are those famous pictures of everybody down outside the stock exchange.
Yeah.
The reason they'd gone down there was because you couldn't get information about where your money had gone. So people would go to these brokerage houses. All of the numbers were wrong. The numbers were like 5 or 10 hours behind. So people would go down to literally find out what was happening. It was wild.
We have to fast forward to today, because as you were looking into this, I know you saw many parallels. And when we think about a bubble, and all bubbles eventually burst, you look at what's happening with AI right now. And you've said, hey, the way that AI is being bought up in these companies, and there's billions, if not trillions at stake, that it's kind of masking what might actually be going on with the economy. Can you explain?
So that's something I worry about. Right now, look, there's this very exciting thing happening with AI. By the way, there's an exciting thing in 1929 called radio. And people were buying RCA the way they buy stock in NVIDIA today. But the thing I worry about is the boom can only last so long. And yes, may have a great artificial intelligence boom. I think that's real. But there's a possibility that when leverage is involved, when there's too much money being loaned out to make all this happen, sometimes these things can come tumbling down. And the question is, can you get on and off the train in time?
There were a lot of reforms, of course, after the stock market crash. There were reforms after the financial crisis. They're supposed to protect ordinary mom and pop type investors. Where does that stand now? Could this happen again?
So the good news is I'm praying that this can't happen to the degree that it happened. So many bad choices were made afterwards. Hoover made some terrible choices back in the day. The Federal Reserve made some very bad choices. But there are guardrails that are being taken off right now, the system, because everybody wants the lottery ticket. Everybody wants access to more. And so there is a little bit of a worry, I think, that there's some 1929-ish things happening. And, you know, 1929, just to tell you a quick story, my grandfather was 11 years old and was a messenger boy down there on Wall Street during the crash. And he used to tell a story about how he actually watched somebody jump out of a window after the crash. And he lived till he was 91 years old. He never bought a share of stock his whole life. He put the money under his mattress. He bought bonds, and that was it. And it can have a real impact. So psychologically, the market can have a real impact on the economy.
Yeah, it is actually a reflection of human nature in so many ways, and that really is brought to bear in the book, which you take us back to 1929. It feels very, very current. Andrew, thank you very much. Nice to have you here.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.